Psalms chapter 1 is a warning for you. It is a warning, really, to not be a Pharisee. And a Pharisee is someone who is all about their own law, that they have made up an easy way to follow the Bible, and yet not really at all. And so Pharisees today are people who say prayers and don't, or maybe are at church. Actually, obviously they're at church. They say prayers and they don't really believe that God is going to hear that prayer because there's nothing in the prayer. It really doesn't say anything. It just maybe says the same thing they said yesterday, and it really doesn't talk to God. When you believe in God, you believe He's right here with you, and He is in the room. So when I pray right to God. He is right here in the room. And what would I want to say to Him? And He's not going to want to hear the same thing twice. He didn't want to hear the same thing He heard yesterday. He wants to hear something new, and He wants to hear it from the heart, and He wants you to know that He is there with you, and He protects you, and He is your dad, and He's watching you all the time. The ungodly, they're not ungodly because they don't believe they don't believe in God. And the thing is, the churches are filled with people who don't believe in God because they do all kinds of bad things. They don't love their neighbor as themselves. So perhaps they're not doing things that you consider bad, but they're hurting people left and right, and they're judging people left and right, and people don't like being at church because there are people that are just not kind, and it's an acceptable unkind because that's just a culture. The culture of the church is to be it's okay to gossip, and it's okay to do all kinds of things to people. It's an acceptable bad, and judgment is a really big part of that. And so that's the ungodly. And we need to not be ungodly. We need to know that God is right in the room, and we also believe in the sacrifice of Jesus. We believe in grace. We believe that other people have grace, and we believe that we have grace. And that's, you're a sinner if you don't believe in grace. If you don't believe that other people are also under grace, you don't believe that you're under grace, and so you're judging everybody, and you're judging yourself, and you're hating others. That person doesn't believe in grace. And then there's the person that's scornful. They're looking down on everybody. They're judging people. And we are the people who fight to follow God. And those are the people that are really following His laws. So our number one law is to love your neighbor, love God, and love your neighbor as yourself. And we do that by practicing being love always. So the question today is, how can I be love? And also, how can I have grace today when I make mistakes and say that I am a learner? So I want you to practice being a learner today. If you make a mistake, you say, I'm so sorry, God, for making that mistake. What can I do today to fix it? That's what a learner does. And that is who is God's. That's not a sinner. A sinner is someone who gets angry with themselves, who gets angry with others. They don't have grace. And also, if you can practice that, then you're not going to be scornful of others. And also, if you can really practice saying sorry to God, realizing that you hurt God every time that you hurt another person, then you are not going to be ungodly. So practice that today. The book that I'm writing, it is just a easy way to go through this and make it a little clearer to your kid. And here we are and have an activity, and this is to pray to God about the news, asking God to move in big ways. And then I'm going to have Margaret talk to God like he is in the room, because he is there. So she's going to pretend that she is me, or God is me rather, and that she is praying to an actual person in the room when she prays, because it might still not be that clear to her that God is right here in the room with her, and I want her to practice that and know that he is right here. And also, maybe we could do a role play where, she's thinking about what she would want God to say to her. If she was God, what would she want someone to pray to her about? And she could do anything. So, the whole point is just to get her to really see God in the room. It's not to have any kind of, just to know that he is right there. And so what could you do today to get your kid to see that God is right in the room with you? And he's right here, and he's watching your every move. And because that's a really important thing for a kid to realize.